Bum 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 bum. Yo, 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 yo. Where is my chat? Where are you? Born. What up? How's it going? How's your Monday treating you? You ready to work? Hopefully it's not as busy today and the rest of your week last week was alright. You said Monday was super busy, a little bit hectic. I hope it's eased up for you. Sarah! How are you? Geeky! How's it going? The weather has been great in the UK, hasn't it, Geeky? It's been nice and cool. You don't have to worry about sweating in bed. It's nice and chilled. A little bit of rain. It's been fun. Nice and cool. Which means you can get more work done and you don't feel so fatigued all the time. Ba ba ba. Plenty of work still. It is what it is when you work 9 till 5, full-time job. But don't slack off too much because you know what your bosses are like when they come back after a holiday and or whatever, or work expenses and stuff like that. They come back and expect so much. They assume that you've got so much free time. They just pile more work on you. I learned that the hard way when I first started working. Took it easy when the boss was off, and when he come back, he just assumed I had no work. When really I was slacking off, so I had double the work. Ark, how's it going? 8 p.m. on a Friday must be 8 o'clock on a Monday. I saw that Gundam body pillow that you sent. That was crazy. Not as in my head, it was a lot more revealing, but it's still pretty spicy. Sarah recovering from flu? Oh no. I hope you feel better. Yeah, crazy wind today. Hopefully it didn't blow your fences down and whatnot. I think that's the worst thing when it comes to English weather. The wind can sometimes just totally mess you up. I've seen friends, they've like lost the roof of their cars because of the wind. Fences and bricks have fallen down. Completely messed up their day. Luckily, insurance will cover everything. Geeky, you're definitely an autumn winter person. Yeah, it's nice. Cuddle up to the fire, radiator, get all nice and snuggly warm. Put on your favourite jumpers and hoodies and scarves. Just don't stay out too long in like the snow and the rain. It was a picture. Yeah. No, it's definitely Archangel sent me a picture of him holding the body pillow that he actually owns. It was a great photo. You don't distribute. Who did I order my body pillow from then? Luckily, fences are intact. Good. Good, good. Yeah, I think it was earlier on in the year we had that really bad storm. Yeah, unfortunately, my friend, his car got really damaged. He had to go through the insurance to get it all. He didn't want to, but it was like nearly £2,000 to fix his car just because of a fence and a broken wall. Kind of sucks. Ba, ba. Did anybody read any Jump the last couple of days? Looks like My Hero is going to be wrapping up sometime soon. One Piece is entering its next arc. Got a couple of new series starting. They all look pretty interesting. You sent me the one you've been using. Oh, good. So it's got its own fragrance. Nice. I don't have to add any more. So cool. How's it going, my man? Sam? How's your evening? Right, I don't know what I'm doing at the moment. I have... What do I have? I have a bunch of... I don't want to listen to you. Or do I? Have I read Die Dark? Yes, I have read Die Dark. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I watched Dorohedoro back in 2018. I've been struggling to get hold of physical releases of the manga, unlike most people. In America, I think they had a massive reprint, and I don't think we've really got the reprints for some of the earlier volumes. We've got all the later volumes that we can pick up. But yeah, because of that, I saw Die Dark back in March. It was just there on the shelf. I recognized the mangaka's name. I picked it up and I loved every second of it. I've seen a few people have dropped it. They weren't particularly interested because it wasn't similar to Dorohedoro, which I think kind of sucks. I know people pick up manga, they have their favorite manga artists and mangaka, but to say that you're just going to drop the series just because it's not like or similar to their previous work, I think it's probably the wrong way to think about it. It's its own series, despite it being connected to the same manga artist. It is completely different. The world is kind of similar. It's very dark and dingy, but it feels more like a comedy than anything, a dark comedy, if you will. I think it's great. You haven't been keeping up with My Hero after Deku got back from the UA? Yeah, yeah, it gets good after that. I think it's on its last legs. Not last legs as in like it's terrible, but I think it's on this last arc. I think after this, that'll be it. I think the bad guys are going to be defeated at the end of this arc, however long it's going to be, and then that'll be it. It'll be super interesting to see how they wrap it up. No spoilers, but the new One Piece character, yeah, very interesting. I love how Oda just hypes up a character from like 500 chapters ago, and then they become really relevant to the story. He does that all the time. Little tiny, he did it with Ace originally. Ace showed up in Alabasta, and then he had a little arc after Skypiea with Blackbeard, and then there was a couple of things that happened after, and then he had the whole like 4 or 5 different arcs revolving around him, and the ending was just such a shocker. But yeah, this character, the new character that's kind of been announced in One Piece, has been eluded for so long. It's so good. I'd be interested to see if it is actually the character that they say that they are. Some speculate it may be a relative, not real, just using the name. It could be a facade. Who knows? You've been really enjoying Aliens Era? Yeah, so have I. It really gives me that, like, maybe because it's a nostalgia thing, because I grew up with Men in Black, but it really reminds me of Men in Black. Like I said, detective, because it's detective focused, kind of noir. The only thing I haven't really been enjoying too much is that I thought the main character, like the teenage boy, I thought he was going to have more of a main role, but it seems to be the teacher who seems to be like the main character. You know, like in Naruto's like the main character, and despite Kakashi being so much stronger and wiser and, you know, the sensei, Naruto is still the main focus of the story. Whilst Aliens area, I feel like he's kind of taken a backseat. He doesn't really contribute a lot. Well, maybe just the few chapters I've read. I think I'm behind on like 2 or 3 episodes, and that's it. But I've really been enjoying it. Hopefully it picks up at some point. At the moment, all that I've read, it's been like a monster of the week, alien of the week sort of thing. But yeah, I hope it sticks around. It's not doing great on the weekly chapter polls, unfortunately. Wait, Oda's going on a 1 week break. That sucks. I know. Wait, he's permanently doing that, right? Because he does 3 weeks on, 1 week off, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. I think that's his. I'm sure that's his routine. That's how it's been the last, I think, 4 or 5 months, or since he took that 1 month break after just before kind of 1.0 ended. Yeah, I think Blackbeard's another. Obviously, I feel like Blackbeard's kind of the main antagonist. He's another one that's like kind of been. He said his presence has always been eluded from really early on, and he makes really big impacts. And the last, I think it was last chapter or the chapter before, was really interesting. Mantis, how's it going? Yeah, I think One Piece is gonna be an interesting ride. One Piece, because I think he's actually been out and said that this is going to be like the final stretch, but the final stretch doesn't necessarily mean this is going to be the last arc. Kind of like how New World, which encompasses Fishman Island, Punk Hazard, Dressrosa, Zoe, Big Mama's Island, what was it called? Desert Island, wherever it's called, Whole Cake Island, and then Wano. I think Wano is kind of its own thing, but all of that is encompassed into like separate arcs, and they have like little tiny side stories in each arc. This one's going to be interesting because there's so much more to wrap up, so much more, and they've added so much lore with the government in the last couple of chapters or few chapters. Yeah, you'll be interested to see where it goes. What I will say is I actually saw a post a little while ago. It's not really a spoiler, I would say, but Blackbeard's Jolly Roger is 3 skulls, and someone made a comparison to him and an octopus, because an octopus has 3 hearts, and people just assume that he is going to have some sort of like his next fruit, maybe some sort of like octopus fruit or some sort of a third ability of some kind that he will have. I thought that was quite interesting. And also how his shadow might be like its own. What's that? His shadow may actually be like its own presence. It may be like sentient to an extent. But these are all speculations. People just assume that the shadow is its own being, and the shadow has the power of the devil fruit, and Blackbeard doesn't have the devil fruit himself. Big Mama's Island, yes, I forgot what it was called. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure it's called Whole Cake Island, right? It is called Whole Cake, right? Oh, Cake Island. Yeah, Whole Cake Island. Damn. I should really watch One Piece. Manga recommendations? Psst, I'm no good with manga recommendations because I like everything. Lately, I've been really enjoying reading Black Lagoon, but I don't think I could ever recommend it to anyone. Probably Vinland Saga is the only thing I would happily recommend. That's the thing I've been reading the most recent. Yeah, I think Sam, like Bourne said, is there anything in particular that what particular genres do you tend to read? I've just recently read a load of shoujo. I could recommend you a load of that because that was all fire. Circle is still yet to take on One Piece. It's a big dive. It is a big dive. You watched 200 odd episodes. That's crazy. 200 episodes. That brings you up. Surely that brings you up to Alabasta, right? One Piece Episode list. Wow, 200 episodes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look. One Piece. So 200 episodes is... Where is this? Oh, that is just after... 200 episodes is just before or during after Skypiea and after or during the Foxy Pirate arc, which is just before what I personally think is the best, well, my favorite arc, the Water 7 Ennis Lobby arc, which is the best I think One Piece has been, in my opinion. But that's just me. So Circle, I think you should jump back on it. You fell off at the peak, if you ask me. Black Lagoon anime was pretty good. Yeah, we spoke about it last week. Ark said that the English dub is pretty good, pretty decent. I think I'm sure someone's mentioned it was on Netflix. If not, if it's possibly on Crunchyroll, but I'll probably give it a watch once I catch up. I'm on what volume am I on? I think I'm on volume 9 at the moment. Really good. I've really enjoyed it, but I don't think I can recommend it. It's a bit too... I can only recommend it from the action perspective. A lot of the story is very... It's very... Not cliche. What's the word I'm looking? I think it's very obvious where the story is going to go because the main characters will never die, despite there being loads of guns and drug deals and ambushes and stuff for the characters. None of the characters are going to die at all, which kind of sucks because they get put into positions where one character will have a gun to their head and their life is threatened, and you know that the story will continue and they won't die. Something's going to happen. And then the character who has the gun ends up having his head chopped off and then just thrown to the side sort of thing. So there's no stakes a lot of the time. But towards the end, it starts to get a little bit of mystery behind it. Behind like who's on whose side sort of thing. Did I start rereading One Piece? Yes, I did. I started Thursday last week. 1 volume a day. And I've done, I think, 2 a day. The first few volumes of One Piece are so quick. It's so easy to read within like 40 minutes. There's not a lot of story. It's kind of just action, jumping from island to island. I'm at Barati at the moment, and it's pretty good. This is, I think, my 3rd time reading One Piece, like from the beginning. Samurai Seinen and Mystery. Seinen, like I said, probably Vinland Saga. That's what I've been reading as of late. Regards to Mystery, maybe a Seinen mystery would do. I heard Monster is extremely good. I haven't read it myself, although pretty much every manga tuber that I follow recommends Monster and has it in their collection. Volume from Clamp. What is this called? Snow Goddess Tales. Oh, it's a singular volume. Have you read any of their other stuff, Clamp? Because they also did Card Captors, right? And Chobits and Exaholic. Not my cup of tea. How's it going? I bet your holiday seems like a distant memory now, right? Did you get around to reading Town of Pigs, by the way? Have I got volume 100 yet? Yes. Yeah, it came last week or the week before. And I've mentioned it before, but I'm very disappointed that we didn't get something special because it's literally the first English publication of any manga that has reached triple digits. I know Japan had a nice thing and you could buy something in... I don't know if it was written in French or if it was just like a Japanese import. But I've seen a few French manga tubers. They had like a box with volume 100 and it had like a scroll in there and everything, and a couple of posters. Looks really nice. It's just such a shame that they didn't do anything big for it, or at least like make, I don't know, a few color pages in there or something. They make it special, even if it wasn't for a limited time run. Just do like a few thousand copies of, I don't know, some sort of limited edition cover or something. Would have been cool. But alas, that has gone by the by. Yeah, Dorohedoro is pretty good. I haven't read, I don't know, I would, not that I wouldn't say, but I don't think that anime hits any mystery parts for me. The only mystery part is like, what's the main character's name? Genma? Is that his name? Trying to find out who he actually is. That's probably the only mystery part, but I'm sure the anime only had a certain amount of what covered a certain amount of the manga, because the manga's like 24 volumes, I think it is 23 volumes, and standardly 12 episodes is normally around 4 volumes. Doro, hey Doro, how many episodes was it? It wasn't 26, was it? Yeah, it was 12 episodes, so I reckon probably around 4 volumes, 5 volumes at most. So if there's any mystery, it comes after where I've read. Everyone seems to be recommending Dorohedoro. You got holiday blues? Nah. Well, save up and you can, I don't know about you, but my company gives me loads of time off during Christmas. We normally get like the Fridays off leading up to Christmas, and then the in-between parts, you can like, no one really does any work. So hopefully during the winter, you get some more time off. Max, how's it going? I'm super behind. Everyone's talking so quick. You finished Fire Punch? You finished it now. Was it good? As enjoyable as you thought it was going to be? From Twitter, it sounded like you were really enjoying it. Marshall, Call by the Night, Blue Period, and Taliban Hanako-kun. Which one do you think is most likely to hook you in the first volume? It depends. I feel like they're all shonen. I heard Blue Period is quite slow, kind of slice of lifey at the beginning, and it gets quite interesting from like volume 4 or 5. I haven't read it myself, but apparently there's a small time skip, and it gets interesting when the kids go to college. And there's a lot of like painting jargon. Maybe jargon's maybe the wrong word to use, but there's a lot of technical painting talk that's almost forced down the reader's throat in the first couple of volumes. So maybe Blue Period isn't the greatest. Marshall was pretty good. It's a great comedy series. It does turn quite action-packed later on down the line. And I'd probably say either Call by the Night or Marshall. Depends what you're kind of interested in. Like comedy aspects. I think Taliban Hanako-kun is kind of like a monster of the, I would say monster of the week, but not every monster gets wrapped up within a chapter. But there's a bit of mystery towards the end. It's hard to say which one's going to be good after one volume, to be honest. But I'd say probably Marshall and Taliban Hanako-kun for me. But then I haven't read Blue Period. You saw the anime Chobits a long time ago. You should check out some of their other stuff. XXX Holic is pretty good. Yeah, a color page would have been nice for volume 100, but I don't know. And it's Viz as well. It's not like they don't produce any other physical manga that doesn't have color pages, you know? Have I read Chainsaw Man? Yes, I have read Chainsaw Man. I am currently not reading it up to date. I think I'm 2 chapters behind, which is pretty cool. I think it's interesting. I don't know. I haven't read the last couple of chapters, but I think the mangaka is doing 1 week on, 1 week off. And I don't know if he still is, but let me check the most recent chapter No, it looks like he stopped. He started doing 1 week on, 1 week off, and 2 of his chapters that were really long. They were around 30 to 45 pages per chapter. But it looks like he's gone back to like just 20 volumes a chapter. But it looks to be every 2 weeks we get a chapter now. But I haven't read the last 2 or 3 now. But I think it was great personally. I watched a video today actually. Somebody said that they didn't enjoy the ending of volume 11. But I guess that was kind of like, I don't know, because it's the first part. I can understand why she didn't really enjoy it, but I guess it continues on. But I think it was great. I think the anime is just going to blow up its popularity completely. Chainsaw Man was peak. We're excited for the anime. Yeah, it's going to be great. Did I look into Angel Sanctuary? No, I haven't. I have it on my to-read list. I got a little spreadsheet that I stole from Cake Tins, and I kind of made my own. And I've got a tab that is just for recommendations. And I think you've given me there's 2 that I haven't read of yours. But this is one of them, so it's definitely on the list. What's my favorite manga? Probably One Piece. That's just the easiest answer. I've enjoyed everything that I've read, for like nearly 100 different series that I'm caught up on. And I've enjoyed every single one of them, from shonen to seinen and shoujo, romance, gore and horror, comedy, isekai. I love every single one of them. But I just say One Piece because I can kind of jump in at any moment, any volume, and just start reading and enjoy. Yeah, my cup of tea. I think if you've dropped Diadark after volume 3, I think you're probably not going to enjoy it. I think the story is going to kind of stay the same. But Dorohedoro is a little bit different to Diadark. I mentioned earlier that Diadark feels just more like a dark comedy series. There's not a lot of action. The action is kind of like second, maybe even third thought in the storyline. It's not really of any particular interest to the mangaka, I feel. It's all about just the comedy aspect and the stupid world that they live in. Oh, you're on volume 5 of Fire Punch. Is Nausicaa... So Nausicaa, that's the Studio Ghibli film, right? Is it completely different to the movie? Because I've seen the movie, which was pretty enjoyable. I presume, like Akira, they probably cut out a lot. And I bet the manga itself looks really nice, like drawing-wise. Dora has much better characters and mystery. How does it end? That's what I want to know. I mean, no spoilers, but I'm interested to see how it ends. But I just can't get hold of the physical volumes. Volume's ending was a bit weird. Yeah, same as you, Sarah. I didn't particularly not dislike it. I don't know if it felt just a bit rushed. To be fair, I don't know what I was expecting. I feel like with a lot of the series that I read, I just enjoy what the mangaka kind of envisions. Obviously, this is what he wanted to tell. And I feel like a lot of manga series as of late have kind of been very similar. Jujutsu Kaisen is kind of similar. They don't keep a lot of characters around for a long time. But I was a little bit sad towards the end with what happened. And it's kind of open-ended in a way. So I feel like once this second half of the series finishes up or gets going, it's going to kind of come, not full circle, it's going to, like, two halves make like a whole. And it's just going to be a really great story. I hope it's not like a Naruto thing where it's like got 11 volumes for the first part, and then the second part is going to be like 20 or 30. Although the way that his storytelling is, I feel like it's going to be pretty quick. You need to use the spreadsheet the Cake Tin's made. Yeah, it's good. Just take a copy of her spreadsheet, delete all the information. The best bit about it is like the search function is great. You can just type in any manga that you have and it will just come up with all the information, especially someone like you who's got quite a vast collection. I see a lot of people still use like My Anime List or Annie List and everything, which is great. But I think a spreadsheet is has so much utility to it because you have the formula function to add search engines. Heck, I've played video games on Excel spreadsheets through code and stuff. I've played like Pac-Man and Tetris and stuff. You can customize the spreadsheet to however you want. And you can add things like she has what I've also copied, like how many manga you've read in the year, read in a month. And you can do like percentages and stuff, which is what I've really been like kind of hooked on. To kind of force me to keep reading more and more and more. One Piece is good. One Piece is great. I feel sorry for the people that drop it. But I can understand why. If I feel like after reading, so I'm currently rereading on volume 8 at the moment. I've just hit Barati with Sanji, and I can definitely see why people do drop it quite early, especially if they're only picking it up recently. Yeah, it's kind of dated in its pacing and how in depth the story and characters are. They kind of jump from island to island doing their own thing. It's a bit quick. But I think if you're willing to sit down and enjoy a long form story, it's gonna be beneficial in the end. And I feel like most people will fall in love with it. In saying that, I have found out 2 people recently have dropped it from like episode 200, which was just after Skypiea, and someone else dropped it after volume 30, which is volume 30 is literally Skypiea. So if you're not enjoying it at that point, it's pretty much kind of the same. And the longer that you read One Piece, the more attached you become to the characters, and you just want to see them kind of continue. Kind of how a lot of Dragon Ball fans are. They just want to see Goku and Vegeta continue to fight bigger and better people and have new power-ups and stuff. You borrowed Arc System of a TBR jar. Yeah, I think that's really good. I've seen someone else have a TBR jar. Who was it that I was watching? I can't remember. But someone had a TBR jar. They just shake it, pick it up. I think it's great. You've got 19 volumes of One Piece. You don't think it's as interesting as Naruto? So 18 volumes, you've just been introduced to a new crewmate, Chopper. And yeah, I could understand why you wouldn't think it's interesting. Where is volume 18 Naruto? What is volume 18 of Naruto? I can understand because you've just been introduced to Tsunade, and there's the whole Tsunade, Orochimaru, and Jiraiya like triangle battle fight thing. So Naruto's going off training with Jiraiya. So I can understand why you wouldn't find that interesting. I can understand why you think One Piece isn't as interesting as Naruto, because Naruto has had some really hype arcs. It introduces Orochimaru quite early into volume, I think 8 or 9. I think he gets introduced quite early, maybe a little bit later. No, it's got to be early. Volume 4 is the end of the. Volume 4 is the beginning of the tuning exams, right? Or volume 5 is the beginning of the tuning exams. Yeah, then Orochimaru's around volume 5. Yeah, there's a lot of hype moments in Naruto in comparison to One Piece. But like I said, One Piece is just a long-term investment. I feel like Naruto kind of peaks quite early, and then kind of after, I'd say volume 30, 40, it starts to go down a little bit. In my opinion, the end dragged out quite a lot. Whilst One Piece, I feel like it's just a so slow and steady incline. But then that's just me. The ending of Dorohedoro involves gyozas. I would expect so. It's his favourite meal, right? Works perfectly well as a standalone Nausicaa. How much is a volume of Nausicaa? I really enjoyed the movie, but then I've watched a lot of the Studio Ghibli stuff, and I think they're quite good. How much? Oh, it's not that expensive. Wait, no, that's an art book. £15. Yo, £55 for a whole... Damn, that's expensive. You took a plunge on one of the chunky omnibuses for Gantz. I've heard, I watched an old video of Uchu Shelves, and he talks about Gantz and how great it is. And I did ask him, in comparison to the anime, how good is it? He said, we don't speak about the anime, it's terrible. So I think I rated the anime like a 3 or a 4 on my anime list, because I didn't really enjoy the anime, but apparently the manga is great. Yeah, it sounds like, oh, you say it's bonkers, but are you actually enjoying it, Circle? Might have to nab Cakes Tin spreadsheet. I think everybody should get a spreadsheet. If you have over, I would say if you have over like 30 to 40 different series, I would say get the spreadsheet. And I'd say if you have over maybe like 500 volumes or 400 volumes, I would say get a spreadsheet. It's perfect. I think the Gantz omnibuses are quite, a lot of them are out of stock quite often, aren't they? Born, are you excited for Bleach to come back then? I think Kubo's art, like you said, his character designs. I think I've read a lot of shoujo as of late, and what I've noticed is that the mangaka put a lot of emphasis in their clothes. Maybe just because they're girls or women, they like to wear big flowy dresses with lots of like frills. There's a lot of detail that goes into it, and I never see that kind of detail put into shonen manga really, unless it's something like Bleach, where his character designs are not his character designs, but their wardrobes are just crazy. They're so good looking. I feel like the only other manga artist I've enjoyed when it comes to like shonen clothes is the guy who did Katekyo Hitman, who also did the designs for Psycho Pass, the anime. I really like his clothes that he designs. You took the TBR jar from someone else. Just like most things, the ideas that people have are never original. We always steal from someone to an extent. Plagiarism is the way that we get rich. You've read 4 out of the 12 so far. Is it? It's not complete, is it, Gantz? Gantz. Gantz with a Z. There's 37 volumes. What is it? Are they 3-in-1s, the Gantz? So it should be complete then, right? Nausicaa was releasing singles and as 2 hardbacks. That's probably what I'm looking at. I'm probably looking at the hardbacks. Let me look. This is probably what I'm looking at. These are probably the hardbacks, right? It's a box set. All right. If it's a box set, that's probably the singles, right? Doesn't say. 3-in-1 omnibuses. 10 is about to be released next month. So that would... What? I don't want this. That's the opening. So if 10 is about to be released, that will be 30 volumes. There's 37, so we're expecting at least another. Probably the last volume will probably be a 4 in 1, right? Or maybe the next two will be like 3.5 in 1s, maybe. The hardcover box set is the. Oh, maybe it's maybe they're hardcovers then. The box sets that I'm looking at. £55, quite expensive though. Then again, if you get like 7 books out of it. Bleach is your least favorite out of the big three. I think similar to Naruto. I think Bleach. I think if it ended at the what the Despia? No, that's Yu-Gi-Oh. The Aranka, is that what they're called? I think if it finished there, a lot of people said that Bleach should have finished at the Soul Society arc, but I quite liked the arc that followed, which I thought was quite interesting. I think if it finished there, I think it would have been wrapped up pretty well. For me, I stopped reading a lot of it, or stopped paying attention as much to Bleach when it went into the last like few arcs, the Fullbring arc. He just had too many powers. It was too much. I think Naruto could have ended a lot sooner as well. I think. But then I guess that's what happens when a manga series gets so popular. They have the potential of, you know, retiring a hero or living long enough to be a terrible series. I think the best thing about the anime for Bleach that's coming out is the art style for it. I think if Bleach, it's always funny because when you read a lot of Shonen Jump series, obviously it's all black and white because it's manga, pen, paper, and well, should I say it's digital now, isn't it? Anyways, it's all black and white and screen tones, and you never really understand how dark a series is going to be. But then you jump into the anime, and One Piece and Bleach was so like bright and vibrant for most of it. But I think Bleach definitely would have benefited by having more of a darker tone over over like a film over it to make it a lot more darker. Which how from looking from the trailer, it's going to just look a lot darker, which I think would have suited it a lot more. It's like sometimes I'm taken aback with something like One Piece when I read it, and then I look at the front cover and I see a character that's never been in color before because I don't watch the anime. I never know what they look like, and then they're wearing like a bright pink top with like yellow trousers, and their weapon is like fuchsia. Kind of not what I envision a lot of the time. No, the box set is the two. Oh, okay. No, they're hardbacks that come with a chipboard cover. Yeah, his clothing is great. I think Jujutsu Kaisen going the same way. Yeah, I think pretty much you could probably pick out almost every manga series in Jump at the moment, and I think all of them have pretty much anything that's over like 100 volumes. I think has stayed its welcome, in my opinion. Um, I think My Hero could have ended a little bit sooner. It's where it is now, and I think it's great. There are a couple of arcs that I think that weren't needed. I think Jujutsu Kaisen, I don't know. It feels like it could have ended last arc. Now it's just adding so many new characters, and every character is getting its own like 5-page spread of how their abilities work. It's just becoming really clunky, and I'm not actually enjoying the read, if I'm honest. Oda's been on record loads of times to say that his stuff it should have been 5 years when it first started, but I think it's gone on for so long now. I think I kind of just want it to continue going on forever. I just want the story to keep being flushed out more and more and more. Marshall, the mangaka, I think this time last year, said that due to circumstances outside of my control, I'm going to be continuing the series. It should have finished a little bit sooner, but I'm going to another part, I think just because of how popular it was. Same with Undead Unluck. There was another series that has ended. I feel like there was another series that was similar. I think I want to say Dr. Stone, but I might be wrong. Yeah, but I think there's a lot of series out there that could have ended a lot sooner, but they just become, I don't know. I don't want to say money grabbers. I don't think that's the right word to say. But, you know, at the end of the day, Shueisha is a company built to make money. So, have I got any other shoujo on my radar? I've got a few. Geeky's giving me loads of options. I want to get some of the classics. I did the video a couple weeks ago now with the shoujo manga that I purchased. And a lot of people DM'd me on like Instagram and in the comments, and people messaged me on Twitter saying, "Oh, you should pick up some of the more like some of the more popular shoujo series like Cardcaptor Sakura, Sailor Moon, Kami-sama Kiss, Maid Summer, Fruits Basket was like recommended by literally everybody. That gave me another shoujo recommendation." And yes, I'll probably be looking to pick up some of the more mainstays, like the stuff that's popular. Like when you think like shoujo, people pick up My Hero, Naruto, Dragon Ball, Bleach, One Piece, Demon Slayer, that kind of thing. And I think it would be nice to at least have like the staples. I think if anything, I'll probably pick up Fruits Basket because it's rated quite highly on Mao, my anime list, and also it's regularly in stock. It's like one of the only old school shoujo series that I see regularly on the shelf. The length of most shonen series is the reason why you moved into Gekiga. Yeah, I think there's no reason. I think that's a valid reason, to be honest. Long running series is a long term investment, especially, you know, I've been reading One Piece since I was a teenager. You know, I'm probably old enough to be most of your dads. And it's still going on, and it's probably not going to be finishing anytime soon. But yeah, I think going for like the one shot, like big volume ones, not volume ones, but like just single volumes. Inyo Asano, he has a couple. I think with Gekiga though, it's just hard to find some of the stuff. I'm sure Ark will testify to that. Especially being in the UK as well, we don't get a lot of stuff to come over. And you have to pay a lot of shipping if you get it from America. Which series was it that ended because the mangaka's mum and dad told him off for drawing spicy girls? I don't think I know that one. I'd have to do some research on that one, but that is funny. That is funny. Oh, surely if you're making money, you can just, you know, mum and dad just shouldn't care, right? You started reading Snow White with the Red Hair? Yes, that's another one that people have recommended me. Snow White with the Red Hair, and what's the other one? Snow White with the Red Hair, and there's another one that's kind of similar. It's even got similar looking volume color as well. It's like a creamy kind of color. Snow White with the Red Hair and something else. So far it's cute. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Sarah. If you want a short series, Shonen is definitely the worst one to, yeah. Even though the new editor has done a great job with, like, I don't think he cancels the series. I think he allows the mangaka to kind of have free reign on what they want. But I think there's a time where he says, like, wrap it up. Dr. Stone, 23 volumes, I think, or 24 volumes. Demon Slayer, 23 volumes. Yeah, since he came into the role, the new editor in chief, back in 2014, I think it was 2013. He's done a good job on keeping the series pretty short. And the only ones that are still going on are My Hero, because they were active before. No, My Hero wasn't. My Hero was 2016, I think it started. So whilst he was in swing, I guess they kind of still want to have at least one or two series that are long going, because at some point One Piece and My Hero and Black Clover will finish, and then I can't imagine that you'd still get people interested in buying the physical magazine every week if you're going to have series that are going to be so short. I think you want like long-term investment. I don't know. I'm not an editor. You want to pick up Fruits Basket? Pick it up. Someone, not spoiled, but I'd gone through my whole life of not knowing what Fruits Basket is. But then somebody told me when the new series started on, was it I think it's on Netflix or Crunchyroll? Season 3, like the reboot of the series that follows the manga like almost exact. Someone told me the synopsis, and it was completely different to what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just a high school romance, and that was it. But there's a lot more to it. Do I have Nana? No, I do not. I was looking to pick up Nana. It was on my list to pick up, like Flows of Shoujo that I wanted. And then I found Paradise Kiss, which was a 5-in-1 massive omnibus that I'm only a few chapters away from finishing. So I decided to go for that because it was the same manga artist. But I would like to get hold of Nana. I feel like a lot of the series that people recommend are just always held in such high regard. There's not many that I've picked up where I thought, yeah, I don't see myself picking up the next few volumes. Pretty much everything that people have recommended me that have been outside my comfort zone or the demographic that I've kind of traditionally follow. I've loved every series so far. But I live in the UK, and reprints that come out from Viz and Yen Press and whatnot really only affect the people in America and Canada. By the time it gets over to us, if it gets over to us, it just doesn't happen. You're old enough to be my dad? Maybe my brother, not my dad. You could be my older brother. Snow White and the Red Hair. There is another one that's... I want to find out what this is. Popular shoujo manga. I typed in popular... Oh, no, never mind. I typed in popular shoujo manga and then an image of Kaguya-sama quintessential quintuplets came out. But then it said popular romance series. Yona of the Dawn. That's what I'm thinking of. That's the other series. Snow White, the Red Hair, and Yona of the Dawn. They are the two other series that people have recommended as well. But again, because they're shoujo, they're not really printed as much. And I could just watch them, read them online, but I don't really want to. Manga for Life. You'd recommend it, but yeah, I'm not really committed to collecting right now. I would love to. Maybe one day I'll go to America and I'll just find a Barnes and Noble, and hopefully they have all the series, all the volumes there. It's so much harder being in the UK. We only get the really popular stuff. Things that are always in stock. Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia. That's literally it. Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, and Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul is always on the shelves in every single bookstore that I go to, which is crazy. And the thing is, you look through the volumes and they're all still first editions. It's crazy. So Yu Yu Hakusho Volume 1 being reprinted. Yeah, they're starting to reprint some of Yu Yu Hakusho and what's the other one? Hunter x Hunter. Although they started doing Hunter x Hunter, I think June, July time. And then when the mangaka said that he was coming back, a lot of the volumes I saw went off the shelf. There was 1 week where there was loads of volume 1s and up to like volume 10 in my local Forbidden Planet comic book store. And then literally 2-3 weeks later, when he announced he was coming back, yeah, they were all gone. Every single one. But yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho is being reprinted as well, I've seen. Older Brother works? Yeah. Yeah, you're not that much older. Astro Lost in Space? I am not. Is it still ongoing? It's finished, right? Yeah, 5 volumes. Is it easy to get hold of? Lost in Space. Easy. Did they just have like a big reprint of it or something? Or the volume just always been regularly available? They're really cheap as well. It's not out of print even in the US. Maybe I'll fly over. And see what I can get, if anything. Because we got nothing over here. Excited for the anime coming out this season? Actually, I am. Let's look at some of the interesting news I found on Twitter. Now, I don't really use Twitter all that much. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that I'm quite got like high anxiety at the moment after having like 2 videos that I posted up. And loads of people like them, and now I feel, and I got quite a few people following me. I say quite a few, it was like 10. But now I've got anxiety that I feel like the next time I upload a video, everyone's gonna dislike it or just not like it and then run away from me. So I kind of just want to just stay in limbo at the moment. So I use it as a platform just to like things, just to remind myself that I can talk about it on stream with you guys. I don't know if anyone remembers, but it's been on hiatus for a while because of the mangaka's health. But this is the volume 1 of Ruri Dragon, which is like a slice of life series about a girl who magically starts turning into a dragon. She grows horns, and I think she finds out she's a dragon. I think it's a dragon. We assume it's a dragon. But this is the first volume that's just come out. She's been on, or he or she has been on hiatus for a little while due to health issues, and they haven't come back. I'm trying to look when the last chapter came out. I can't even find it. Oh, there we are. July. It's been 2 months. That's 8-9 weeks. So it's kind of weird that they're releasing volume 1, because even if the mangaka comes back, they're not going to have... They've only got 6 chapters. Literally, all 6 chapters are going to be in this one volume. So it'll be quite interesting to see how, 1, the sales of this one, and 2, when the mangaka comes back, if the momentum will still be there, if people will still be interested in reading it. Ruri Dragon has quite a lot of hype. Yeah, I think because it's kind of like a soft slice of life shonen series about a girl who grows horns one day, and the conversations were quite witty, quite quick. The pacing, there was like, you know, she would go, you'd follow her from going from school to the walk to school, to then a conversation with her friends in her class, then a conversation with friends in the cafeteria, then her walk home, and then just her daily experience. But it was so quick, like chapter to chapter, and the conversations were just always moving. It was quite interesting and engaging. I found it was anyway. But yeah, there's a bit of mystery behind her being a dragon and everything. But it'd be interesting to see what the hype is when, you know, she comes or he comes back. I don't know if the manga is a boy or a girl. But yeah, so this is the front cover, which is a bit strange. She looks kind of scared. Normally you'd expect them to be like quite, you know, stand quite proud. Or being a girl, maybe, I don't know, in a cutesy. I guess some people could consider this cute. I don't know. But yeah, I think it was quite interesting. And I don't know if this is spoilers, but they also, I, I won't show it. Let me click out of it. I won't show it. But there was also a volume 12 of Chainsaw Man came out. It shows a new character on the front. I won't show it. You may have already seen it, but I think it looks dope. And I like that that Fujimoto is continuing like the one character per volume on each volume. I think it's great. But I'm looking forward to more Chainsaw Man when it comes out. Hopefully we get it. Hopefully it's not late. Because we got I think we got Chainsaw Man quite late, and then they started releasing volumes regularly. I just hope that it's not going to be too long before we get Chainsaw Man again. And I know some people, I think Born, you said you weren't going to read it online weekly. So hopefully by, I don't know, maybe January, February time, we'd get volume 12. Knowing our luck though, the way it works is normally we're 12 months behind most of the time. But we'll have to see. The most anime you're looking forward to is the new Gundam series. What series is it? Is it a continuation or is it like a brand new series? But yeah, this is Komi Can't Communicate volumes 1 to 4. This is the third box set that Viz are pumping out. This one's going to be exclusive at Target. I think the Chainsaw Man was exclusive at Barnes & Noble, and the Jujutsu Kaisen one was Books A Million, or it could be vice versa. But this is Komi Can't Communicate, and they're doing a 4-in-1 at Target, and yeah, I feel like it's just a big money grab. Or maybe I'm just being pessimistic about the whole thing. But yeah, I think Komi Can't Communicate is still ongoing as well. But again, like we've said before in this stream many times, that there's so many other series that could do with a new box set. I think Komi Can't Communicate would have been at the bottom of my list, or towards the bottom, especially as a lot of the volumes are still regularly available. But hey, I'm not Viz Media. You like the main character design? Yeah, I think all the girls are cute, kind of similar to Witch Hat Atelier. Most of the main characters are female, but they're young girls, but they don't over-sexualize them or anything. So it's quite easy to read, especially for us old men. Apart from reading manga, do I have any other hobbies? Yeah, I enjoy, like most people, video games. I obviously watch a lot of anime. I play a lot of board games. Some anime board games, some just like tactical resource management board games. And then yeah, I just watch a lot of like media and stuff. Hang out with anything that I can like do to hang out with my friends, pretty much. But yeah, I haven't this whole year I've just been reading manga, pretty much. But I've been putting everything else to one side. But hopefully, when I catch up to date a little bit more with some of my series that I'm behind on, I'll be able to play some more video games, because I'm really into like RPGs, JRPGs, which take a lot of time to go through, anywhere from 40 to 100 hours. So it's quite a lot there's a big time investment, and I don't have that at the moment because I'm prioritizing reading manga. Oh, and I play a lot of poker as well. I've actually got a poker event in 3 weeks' time. It's, I think, £50 buy-in, and there's 10 of us. I don't think it's winner takes all. I think it's 75 20. 75 for the winner, 25 for runner-up. And if I win, because I won the last 2 times I won poker, I spent it all on manga, and I let you guys decide. If I win, I will spend it all on manga, and we can buy something together. I say buy something together. I will spend my money on me to buy manga, and you will help me buy the manga. You get no money. My money. The new Gundam series is called Witch of Mercury. When does it start? October. I just had to look at the winter list, and it's very short. It's like we've gone back to 2008. That's crazy. From what I hear, Komi Khan Community is way too drawn out. Yeah, I think the premise is that she doesn't speak and she wants to make 100 friends. Is that right? Or is that a different series that I'm thinking of? She wants to make a bunch of friends, and I think it's just taken a long time. And I don't know if it was just Weeb Dad being Weeb Dad and being super like hyper cynical on everything. But apparently she still hasn't said a word. Apparently she's silent the whole way. She didn't say anything. So I presume that the story is driven by the male lead, who I presume at the end will probably date her, maybe. I don't know. I haven't read it. I think I've got the first 4 volumes. I haven't started yet. You know, everyone's hyped for the Cyberpunk. Yeah, I haven't read it yet. I think somebody mentioned it last week. And I did say I was going to watch last weekend, but I ended up getting really busy. But yeah, I think I'll probably sit down at some point to watch the Cyberpunk anime, because a few people have recommended it, and it does look super good. And it's Studio Trigger, right? Yeah, Studio Trigger. So it's going to be super fluid. It's going to look good. If it's anything like Kill the Kill, I think it's going to be great. Just for the animation. I don't really care a lot of the time for the story when it comes to this trigger. I'll just watch any of their stuff. Just because their animation is just crazy. Been really... been wanting to get into board games, but no one around you plays them. Yeah. It's it kind of sucks. There are a lot of like single player games that board games you can play. There's a lot of co-op games as well you can play. Although they're co-op, you can play them on your own. You would just play as 2 people. Because it's co-op, you would be in communication with each other anyway. But Ascension is really good. That's the card game, right? The drafting game. I think Ascension came out in if I'm sure this is the same series, board game. Yeah, it's a deck building game, right? Yeah, you can get that through there's an app for that. I'm sure there's an app for it, or it's on Steam. I'm sure it is. I'm pretty sure. I want to say it was no, it wasn't. I might have been thinking about something else. I thought Ascension was also created by the guy who did Magic the Gathering, but he did a few other things like King of Tokyo. But yeah, board games are great. But board games, I think, although a lot of them you can get online, you can get them on your Switch, you can get them on Steam. I think board games need to be played face to face, because you have that body language and that just the atmosphere of playing a board game is quite enjoyable. Plus, in London, they have a few board game bars that you can go to where you can like drink beer and just play board games and stuff. It's super chill. But if you like deck building games, there's so many other deck building games out there. Whenever I decide to leave my house and we meet up, we'll play loads of board games. I promise. So you're liking the pacing of Komi Can't Communicate? How many volumes have you read? Because I think there's 20 volumes out at the moment. Is that right? I guess there's always going to be arguments for both sides. I guess it depends on how much you really enjoy a series, right? I mean, I can't really comment. I can only say what I've heard online, and I hear that it is quite drawn out. Yeah, my cup of tea. I saw you picked up a Fire Emblem Three Houses. I hope you've got enough time to play it like multiple times because you can go through all three houses and so many relationships, especially with it being Fire Emblem. You can pretty much date and build a relationship with almost anyone. I'm looking a bit. Let me turn down the light because I feel like I'm getting blinded. Okay, my phone is not picking up. There we go. There we go. Easier on my eyes. The light was blinding me. Do I have any gambling manga? No, I don't. I haven't read Kaiji, and people have recommended me Kakegurui, but I haven't picked it up. Um, it's also quite difficult to find some of the volumes as well. I think I've watched the first few episodes of Kaiji, or maybe the first season of Kaiji. And I've watched a couple of episodes of Kakegurui, but I'm not particularly interested in gambling. I think I play poker, but I've been to like casinos with some of my friends, and I've literally just stood in there, thrown X amount of money on a roulette table or crabs, and just said, yeah, this number or this color. And I've lost like, 30, £40 and be like, yeah, that's me done. And then all my other friends will just go around drinking and spend hundreds and hundreds. It's not really for me. For me, it's the social aspect, which is why I like playing poker. So I sit down with my friends, one table with all of us. We have a good time. We have a few drinks. We snack. We eat pizza or kebab or chips or whatever. And yeah, it's just a nice, fun, chilled night with my friends. But yeah, but the other aspects of gambling, I'm not particularly, crunching numbers, counting cards, that kind of thing. Not really into it. And I don't really care if I win or lose money. But I'd be interested maybe to pick up Kakegurui. Maybe just because the girls are so like pervy. I just kind of want to see what all the memes are about. Yeah, Trigger does have great design. Kami has spoken, just not a lot. Yeah, I saw there was I saw a clip online of her a few days ago where the main character, the boy, was in a race and she like whispered, like you can do it or something, but she whispered it really low, but she obviously moved her mouth. Ah, so you kind of relate to Komi. Maybe that's why you're enjoying it a lot more than like some of the other people I see online who think it's quite drawn out. It's always nice to find a series that not necessarily you directly relate to, but some of the situations that she's probably been in, you've probably experienced yourself, and you probably find like maybe I don't know, you find it quite relatable in that aspect. But it's hard to talk to people sometimes. You play D&D with some of your friends? Are you a dungeon master, or are you more of a player? Yeah, it's difficult when a lot, most like you, a lot of my friends also have kids, and it's difficult to pin them down. The only time I can pin them down is normally from 8 o'clock until like 10 o'clock, maybe 11, online through Discord, and that's normally around it. Other than that, I have to go physically to their house, and it will just be a one-on-one thing. There's not a lot of times where we can get all of us together, which is quite difficult and and frustrating at times, especially when you want to meet up. But, in like 10, 15, 20 years down the line, when their kids are old enough to do their own thing, they'll all be crawling back to have a good time playing D&D. Born, have you watched Cyberpunk then? Has anyone actually played the game Cyberpunk? I wasn't particularly really interested because I'm not into like the whole open world thing. But Cyberpunk is something that, like, the style of Cyberpunk is something that I'm pretty interested in. Um, But then I heard loads of people like just rat on the game and how terrible it was, like the frame rates and everything. I just don't think it was built for uh, consoles just yet, unless you had a PS5, which pretty much nobody had at the time. Um, I think if you ran it on Steam on your PC and you had like a high end PC, it was running fine. But even then, I saw people who had really great PCs and there was like glitches and bugs and stuff. Crunch time is real, I guess. You read 14 volumes of Comey. Well, you've read 14 volumes. I think you are the judge here to say if it's good or not. Would you recommend Comey Can't Communicate to someone who's like heavy into shonen, action shonen though? Do you think they would enjoy it? Because I've not read anything about it really, but it looks kind of like episodic, slice of lifey kind of things. Do they have like overarching story or anything like that? Oh shoot, Arcane as well. Arcane was really good. And I've played like a handful of League of Legends game back in 2011. So I don't really know a lot of the lore and a lot of the characters and stuff. But I thought that was really good. Super unique art direction as well. Just one playthrough for you? No, you need to play multiple times. All your mates have kids as well. Sounds like all three of us in the same boat. We should meet up and have a no kids pie. You played Magic Gathering, didn't last. Yeah, Magic the Gathering is similar to Yu-Gi-Oh. Actually, no, it's not. You can buy Magic decks and then just play those decks for forever, and they'll never be outdated. You can just play amongst each other. But if you want to keep up with like the competitive scene, you have to keep buying all the new sets and things get rotated out. It's quite frustrating. Nikozu, how's it going? How's your evening? You got Cyberpunk but for PS4? Yeah, I can imagine it was unplayable. I saw all the glitches and stuff. To be fair, like I said, even if you had a high-end PC, people still had issues and stuff. You're reading the various comic series as well. Is it like, are they all connected? Is the anime, like the sides, the comics and stuff, are they all like connected, or is it like just that they all live in all the stories live in this like world and they're all like separate, all the characters, with like different timelines and stuff? No Kids Party sounds like a plan. To be fair, that's what we did on that Saturday, except from we didn't go out drinking or anything. We just went out manga shopping and had tea. Sounds really sad, but I enjoyed it. You got a cold? Oh, dude. You're the second person who's come in and say that they're recovering. Well, take your vitamins. Take it easy. Don't stress yourself. Don't stress your body out too much. And drink loads of fluids. Oh, wait. It's supposed to starve a cold and feed a flu? Or is it feed a flu and starve a cold? Either way, you should eat a lot. I find eating a lot makes me feel better. Anyways, I've been on this screen for too long. Let me get rid of the chain. Oh, that didn't work. Let me get rid of this. So we was talking about anime, and I'm not particularly interested in this one, but it was announced, I think 2-3 months ago, that me and Roboco was getting an anime adaptation. I'm not particularly interested in it. I think this is definitely targeted towards the younger demographic, but I know a lot of people that are really interested. Manga Crash, he enjoys Roboco. I'm not really into I would say I'm not into gag manga, but I really like High School Family. I think it's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because the kids are all like young school kids that I'm not really interested. But yeah, this is the first key visual that we've seen from the series. Hey, don't take me to the... There we go. This is the first key visual that we've seen. And you can't really tell how good it is, but I think it's just an average. It's just going to be an average looking anime series, in my opinion. The Komi Can't Communicate anime is a good way to try it out. I do have the first 4 volumes. I think I might just give it a shot. You wouldn't bother with a manga? Sarah will say something different though. Sarah, sounds like you like it for a different reason. Well, like I said, I've got the first 4 volumes, so I think I'll just give it a shot and then I'll come to my own conclusion. If the series is one good and if I'll continue with it. Yeah, one thing I do like about Roboco is that the volume covers are all reference of other shonen manga volume, normally volume ones. I think they did. Let me have a look, see if I can find Me and Roboco volumes. Now, I don't know. This is Jujutsu Kaisen. This is actually Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 4, I want to say. No, I don't want to be around forever looking through my manga. I need to rearrange my bookshelves. They're terribly organized. Yeah, this is volume 4 of Roboco, and this is volume 4 of Jujutsu Kaisen. So it looks like they're not just doing volume 1s. Because this is volume... Oh, maybe they're not. This is volume 2 of Roboco, but this is actually volume 1 of One Piece, or volume 60. Probably volume... I think it's volume 60. This is the first volume. They also did a Death Note one. They did a My Hero one, which is volume 1. I thought they were doing the same numbers. They're clearly not. Not for all of them, anyway. Yeah, here it is. I don't know what... I don't know if this is a particular... It doesn't say what volume this is. But yeah, I think it's cool that they do stuff like that. Obviously, Shueisha probably has the rights to say that they can do that, but I think it's great. I think it's amazing. So I do look forward. The only thing I do like about Roboco is that I get to look forward to the next volume and see what they look like. Shopping and tea with hardcore. Yeah, it's hardcore. You don't know if you can comfortably recommend it to me. I'm going to read the first 4 volumes by next week, and I'll decide. No, I don't think Roboco is going to be of interest to me. I don't know if anyone saw it as well. They announced it a little while ago, Marshall. Then I think it's going to be really interesting to see that visualized, because the moves and the acrobatics that some of the characters go through is going to be intense. But I think I'm definitely looking forward to Marshall. And at the beginning of the year, I was definitely recommending this to everybody. But I think, as I've mentioned before, Marshall has kind of got to the point where it could have ended a little while ago, and he said he's going to continue it. And now it's become really more shonen battle focused. It's not so much focused on the comedy aspect, which kind of sucks. Yeah, Marshall's going to be a good one. And I don't know if anyone's played Near Automata. Let me zoom out a little bit. But they announced an anime for that as well. They've done a key visual. I don't know if they've done a teaser trailer for it at all. Most recent, most recent announcement that you're happy about is the sequel to Rascal Dreams. Yeah, I think the first things were pretty interesting. It went through like 3 or 4 girls. I think it did. Isn't there already a movie? I thought there was already a movie. Yeah, there was a movie back in 2019. It would be interesting to see if they'll adapt the. It'd be interesting if they adapt the movie into that anime form, or if they'll just continue kind of what they did with Demon Slayer, where the movie was part of the story, or if they'll just retell the movie and then like continue the story. Yeah, Nier Automata was great. I think a lot of I'm a big Square Enix fan, coming from like playing Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy. So I pretty much eat up everything that they've produced, whether it be like A-listed, B-listed. I'll pretty much eat it up. So I'll probably give this a good watch. It'll be interesting to see how they tackle her legs. Because let's just say it's not the most concealed thing in the series. But yeah, that'll be interesting. There'll probably be a fair bit of fan service, but hopefully it's done with a bit of style. You're both hyped and worried. Yeah, you'll be interested to see how they tackle it. Because it could just be down as, smutty fan service. You'll get panty shot. Yeah, definitely 1 or 2, I reckon. But hopefully it's done tastefully. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Speaking of panty shots, we got a key visual for Ayakashi Triangle. This is I don't know, it's a shonen series, and the main character has a gender reverse. He turns into a female, and the other lead, a female, takes a liking to the male. He turns into a female, and then she kind of contemplates whether or not she still likes him or not. But he's a ninja, he has to protect her, and that's kind of how it goes. They get loads of demons that he has to protect, or she has to protect his friend from. But anyways, it's almost like girl love, but he's a boy on the inside. I'm surprised this one got an anime, to be honest. I would play the trailer, but I for sure know that there are a couple of panty shots in here that I don't really want to show, to be honest. Even this is just like pretty risky. They push the boundaries quite a lot in the manga, so I reckon this will definitely be censored a lot. And they definitely won't show as much, I think. But yeah, if you are a big fan of like High School XD or Rosalia Vampire from back in the day, any harem series that's been out since probably 2015 that isn't quintessential quintuplets, you'll probably enjoy this. It could be great or complete pants. No pun intended. Yeah, she doesn't wear pants, thankfully. I mean, Yeah, thankfully. I'm glad she doesn't wear pants. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one. I haven't read this one for a couple of months now. I did read maybe 70 or 80 chapters of this. So it's going to be, I don't know, I might give it a watch just to see how they tackle it. Because the animation, if you watch the trailer, it looks pretty fresh. Nothing outstanding. I don't think there's going to be like, I don't think they need like not high budget. I don't think they need to pay like too much attention to like the action sequences. There's nothing going to be too out there. Wait, the manga has no ecchi whatsoever? So it was just the anime that just had loads of panty shots and boob rubbing and that kind of thing? Damn. Maybe I should pick up the anime then. Because I quite enjoyed watching the series. And I don't really want to talk about this, but this was the NIG's... I saw loads of people make comments about this. This is NIG's top 25 anime of all time. And bar Orin High School Host Club and Attack on Titan, everything was just shonen. The most popular shonen that have been out in the last 10 years or so. Haikyuu, Trigun. I don't know why Trigun is on here. I personally didn't enjoy Trigun from back in the day. Dragon Ball Z is still up here, which is funny because Naruto Shippuden is up here, but not Naruto. They are both basically the same thing, both post time skips of previously better arcs, in my opinion. But they both, the anime specifically, they drag on for way too long. But yeah, it's interesting to see that they've done this, but it caused a big storm of hate, especially from the shoujo community where they only just got her in high school club. But yeah, everything else is pretty much just shonen. Everything that's been popular since ever. And even series that I don't think are even out in English. I don't know if can you watch Ippo in English? Not in English, but is it on any streaming platforms? Hajime no Ippo. Oh, you can. They have it on Crunchyroll. Since when, though? Yo, it has a dub as well. I mean, I'm in England, so I can't even look at it. It's got nothing. Dragon needs a reprint. I mean, would people buy it, though? I know you probably would. But would you... Alright, so... Circle, you said it's one of your favorites, but would you rate it top 25 anime of all time? Be honest. Don't be biased. Reminds me when Source Fed did a review on Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. They obviously hadn't watched it. Ed's robot brother. Now that is definitely. Tell me you don't watch anime without telling me you don't watch anime. Without telling me you don't watch anime. Yeah, I think that they've probably just gone onto like, I don't know, most popular. They've probably just Googled this, to be honest. They've probably just gone into Google, typed in popular shonen series, and then just put these on in. And then probably a few of them have watched Attack on Titan. I don't know why they put Orin High School Club. I haven't read it. I've watched some of it. But yeah, I saw some of the comments from some of the shoujo fans out there. They were upset. Where was Fruits Basket, they were all saying. Which apparently the new series, the reboot, like 3 seasons, was probably apparently a masterpiece. But yeah, like Cup of Tea said, it's NIG. I think all these big corporations, they have no idea when it comes to... And specifically NIG, they have no idea about anything. I don't think. I think Video Game Donkey, if anyone watches him, he made a great video a few years ago now about how IGN is just there's too many reviews from too many different journalists. You're getting like RPG fans to review an RPG, which obviously they're going to rate quite highly, and then you're getting platform fans to rate things like Mario and Hollow Knight, so they're going to love that. So they're just going to be biased because it's based on what they enjoy most. And when you've got so many people reviewing all these different series, you don't really understand what NRG is about. This is obviously just one person, I think. I don't think this is many people. It'd be interesting to see. The article... Does it say at the bottom who wrote the article? Everyone's just dogging on it. It doesn't say who the article's by. Normally they have a section at the bottom that says who did the article. Kiss Kiss Fall in Love. Is that the opening for Our Own High School Club? It's true, they are making a new anime for Trigon, aren't they? I forgot about that. You didn't see School Days on the list? Yeah. That would be funny. That would be funny. But yeah, I thought this was it. Not interesting. I just think it's funny every so often when somebody comes out with a take like this. And it just kind of shows that they don't really watch that much anime. There's so much out there. And I definitely don't. I'm a big Dragon Ball fan. But I don't think it would cut top 25, in my opinion. And I don't know if Full Metal Alchemist is up here just because it's #1 on Mal as well. But yeah, I think it's funny. I hope you got a pretty penny for it. Or if you say back in the day, you probably sold it before the big hype around everything. Born, you said it's a terrible list. But most best of lists are. Yeah, I think they are. Kind of sucks. If it said maybe best 25 shonen and just got rid of like Attack on Titan and Monster. Got Monster was on there. And Attack on Titan, which are all seinen. Not Our Own High School Club, obviously. Bokurano, is that... I don't know if you class that as shonen or shoujo. Shoujo. Seinen. Oh, Castlevania. Castlevania should be up here. Castlevania was dope. I didn't put Avatar on there. Yeah. Legend of Korra, specifically. The second part. Yeah, I think it's funny. Did anybody watch the Chainsaw Man? It came out last week on Monday, literally as I ended stream. Did anyone watch the Chainsaw Man trailer, the official trailer? They did a teaser trailer last month, and then they released the full trailer, which is cool. They also did the English dub trailer, which I never see for anime nowadays. I rarely see an English dub trailer. The only ones I've seen it for as of late is probably Attack on Titan. It's the only series in the last like 5-10 years that I've seen where they do a trailer, unless it's a brand new series, I guess, because this is brand new. But then even Attack on Titan, they do English dub trailers for like the new, I think when season 4 came out, not the second part, but the first part, they did a dub trailer for it. My Hero doesn't get one for some reason, considering it's like one of the most popular shonen series, especially an anime series and manga series, to be honest. But it doesn't get a dub trailer, although it's literally simul-dubbed. Samurai Champloo was pretty good. The dub was good because the main guy was voiced by Samuel Jackson, right? Or am I making that up? You want to go in blind? Oh, luckily I won't show it. But I think we're in for a treat. It's going to be good. But the dub actually sounds really good. I must say, really, really good. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. You see one of the PVs? Yeah, it sounds like you probably just watched the teaser trailer from early on. But yeah, it doesn't show off much. It shows off what you would expect to show a new fan. All the blood and stuff. Fast-paced action sequences from Denji. It looks good. I don't think we will be disappointed in anything. And like I said, the dub sounds good from this anyway. I expect the first episode will probably just follow up the first chapter, and then after that, I don't know. I reckon, like I've said before, probably the first 4 volumes. But then again, part 1 is 11, so maybe they'll do the first 5 volumes. I know Chainsaw Man reads quite quickly, so maybe they'll be able to squeeze it in. Was that Afro Samurai? Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Yeah, Afro Samurai was Samuel Jackson. In that case, I don't think I watched the dub for Samurai Champloo. Yeah, so if you're a fan of Chainsaw Man, I think you've got nothing to worry about when it comes to the anime. It's gonna be dope. I think Hollywood movies do it all the time. I went to go see the Dragon Ball Superheroes movie a month ago now, and the first 4 trailers that they played, to be fair, I wasn't really interested in all of them, but I got the whole experience from beginning to end. I got all the funny bits, I got all the action, and I got the whole premise, and you know where it's going to end. They just spoil the whole thing. I just can't do it anymore with trailers a lot of the time. I was most recently burnt. I say recently, it's like 3 years ago now. I know most of you probably haven't played it, but I watched the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer. They released... Whoa. They released 4 or 5 Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers before the game came out. They spoiled everything. All the plots, all the twists, everything. Absolutely upset. Completely upset. Shoot, this is on loud as well. No, what am I doing? Get down. Sorry, Ark. It's still playing in the background. Yeah, it's just annoying when trailers do that. They just spoil everything. It kind of sucks. But I will say that the Chainsaw Man trailer doesn't spoil anything, I don't think. There's so much context that is missing that people who haven't watched the series won't understand. And yeah, I don't think it will tell you where it's going to end either, the trailer. It's been a while since you've been excited for anime. Yeah, this season is looking pretty stacked. Really stacked, I must say. I did have this on here. I don't think I'll talk about it, but this was a big deal. I think 300 people are complaining that the film earned 30 million US dollars, and that all the voice actors only got paid 300,000. Oh wait, that's $300 each? Oh, that is low. In my head, I'm thinking $300,000. I was like, that's stupid. No way they got $30 each. That's crazy. Just saw Denji trailer spoil. Sorry. I don't know what happened, but I must have clicked on it accidentally. But yeah, unfortunately confirmed Denji is in Chainsaw Man Season 1. Damn, that is crazy. 300. Shoot, man. Some people get that in a day. You'd expect there to be at least an extra 0. In my head, when I first saw this, I thought this wasn't so bad. That's actually a lot of money, because I thought it was 300,000. But 300? That's crazy. They must clearly get... I presume that movie rates are the same as the normal standard TV show rates, maybe. I thought they got paid like per word. Or maybe that's how they do it in Japan. Yeah, $300. I wouldn't get out of bed for that. Even if that had all my expenses paid, because they got paid tax after, they had to do tax on that as well. Surely, man, that's crazy. Now I understand why loads of people are boycotting Crunchyroll. Yeah, I thought they got paid like per word. Wait, Afro Samurai was a manga? I thought it was anime only. I may have to stick on the Listborn. Am I the type of person to read the manga before the anime? Now, yes. Me, 2 years ago, no. When I first started getting into manga back in 2007, I would exclusively just watch the anime first and then pick up the series if I wanted to continue the story, or I enjoyed it so much that I just wanted to also read it as well. And if anyone told me you should read this manga, I would go and watch the anime first just to make sure I would enjoy it, because that was my way of gauging if it was going to be good or not. Because as I've said many times, normally, maybe this is just really restricted to most shonen series, but 12 episodes, one core is normally 4 to 5 volumes of a series, which is normally around, for me is enough to determine if a series is going to be good or not. So if I watch this one season of an anime, 12 episodes, I know I'm at least buying 4 volumes and I'm going to enjoy them. And if I enjoy the anime, I'm going to want to continue. So I'm at least going to want to go into volumes 5, 6, 7, 8 and onwards. But yeah, nowadays, I literally just take recommendations from other manga tubers exclusively now. And I think, I think there's nothing wrong with watching the anime and then not wanting to pick up the manga because you don't want to read a story that you've already read. Sometimes the manga finishes all of it, like it's secluded in the one season. It finishes, wraps up within 1 or 2 seasons. Sometimes you have a series like Dorohedoro, which was 12 episodes, and then it goes on for another 23 volumes in total, which is probably equivalent to like 6 seasons, maybe 5 seasons. And it's only got 1 season. But I guess it depends on how much you've enjoyed the series. There's been anime that I've watched and I've not wanted to reread it or rewatch the series. And then there's been series even like My Hero, for example. I watched My Hero first before I picked up the manga. Then I picked up the manga, and then I got far ahead in the manga, and then I stopped reading, and then I carried on watching the anime. But I've read and watched the story of My Hero Academia 3-4 times now, because I enjoy it that much. I think it really depends on the story, to be honest. Max, how's my day? It's going good. I've been streaming for nearly 2 hours. We've been chatting a lot of nonsense about manga and anime. But it's all going good. It's getting quite late, so I'm getting quite tired. How's your day going? But yeah, that's pretty much it for all the interesting news, I would say. While I'm here, this is the new lineup for October. The fall season, the autumn season. And there's a lot of anime coming out. Chainsaw Man is obviously... I haven't seen, so when it comes to my anime list, I normally check this page maybe a couple of weeks before, because if you start checking it now, if you look at the winter one, this will start in January. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Like, there's still a lot of anime here. But normally, if you go to like spring, there's only like 5 or 6 shows. There's not a lot. So really, you have to look at the list like a couple weeks before, because that's when normally everything's announced. But I always look at this number here, And it's interesting because this number is normally not very high. This number is normally 100,000, if that, most of the time. I've not seen 500,000 people ready to watch this. And this is just on my anime list. This isn't like, people from Twitter and Instagram and stuff. There's a lot of hype surrounding Chainsaw Man. So I think a lot of people are excited for this one. And the same with Mob Psycho as well. Season 2 ended phenomenally. And I personally thought that it would already finish, but no, it's still going on. I don't know when did season 2 come out? 2018 as well? Was that 18? 2019. Yeah, a lot of people are hyped for that as well. And then Spy Family, which ended, I think, last season. So these are the top 3 that most people are interested in. Mob Psycho 3, top of your list. I am interested if he gets a girlfriend in the end. You finished volume 3 of Chainsaw Man? Sick! If you read the next couple, you'll probably be at the end of where the anime probably will finish. How are you enjoying it? I'm trying to think roughly where you'd be. Because obviously there's a few people in here that haven't read Chainsaw Man, so I don't really want to spoil anything. But I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope you stick with it. If you're on volume 3, surely you're enjoying it, right? Yeah, I think what Archangel said, I think if you're some of the bigger, well-known voice actors, specifically in Japan, they get paid quite well. And not only that, it's like, not to say that voice acting in America isn't a proper job, but in Japan, they'll spend like days and days and days just going from one session, recording like 1 or 2 episodes, and then in the morning, and then in the afternoon, they'll do like another episode for another series that they're doing. And then they'll just keep hopping and hopping. I don't know how it's like in America. I don't really know the scene that well. And I don't particularly follow anyone. I used to follow Laura Bailey. She's done a load of voice acting work. Most noticeably that I know, she does like Kid Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. But she does loads of stuff. She's part of Critical Role and everything. But she does loads of other stuff. But yeah, the Japanese voice actors, it's full on. They're sometimes doing like 3-4 different roles every week, just constantly going to all these different series, and they get paid quite a lot. I think overall, probably quite minimal per series, but if you're picking up loads of different series, then it's quite a lot of money. Yeah, but if you're someone like Ark said, if you're the voice of Luffy. You also got things like video games as well that they get involved in, and like the One Piece card game just came out, so that app will also have like voice actors for that kind of thing. They've also just done One Piece Odyssey that's coming out soon. They've done loads of voice acting for that, so they get paid for that. I think if you're just starting off with voice acting, you're probably not going to be earning a lot in Japan. But yeah, if you're a veteran, or you're part of a popular series, I think you'll get paid enough, I think. One girlfriend? Impossible. Maybe. He likes that blonde-haired girl, right? I'm surprised more people aren't excited for My Hero Season 6. I think people have been burnt by the last couple because they haven't been as interesting. But this one and the one after are probably going to, in my opinion, probably the best that My Hero has ever been. And then quite a few people, I see more people excited on Twitter about Bleach, but clearly not so much on my anime list. And I have no idea what this is, but it's season 2. Oh, this is To Your Eternity. I didn't know its Japanese name. And then there's Blue Lock. I don't think the manga has come out in the UK yet. I haven't seen a single volume on the shelf or on eBay, but I know people have picked up volume 1 in America. But I think this is quite old. There's quite a few volumes out in Japan. Blue Lock came out 2018. There's 20 volumes. No wonder there's an anime, and we've only just got season 1, volume 1. That's crazy. The voice actor of Chopper is also a voice actor of Pikachu. Yeah, she's got to be loaded. And the thing is, like you said, all she does is says is Pika Pika, and that's it. She's been doing that since 1999. That's crazy. And she gets it for the anime. She gets it for the video games, because Pikachu now says his name in the video games. All the arcades where there's like Pokemon themed stuff. All the other video games where Pikachu's there. She gets paid for it all. Crazy. We're dropping quality from the previous season. I didn't really notice it all that much. Maybe it's just me. It's Bones. I don't think they did a pretty good job. I don't think they have like, they normally put a lot of effort into that one scene. I remember watching Soul Eater, and the whole run of Soul Eater, despite the second half of it being kind of meh, the story wise, but the animation I thought was great. And I think with Bones now, a lot of the series that they do, they hyper focus on that one action battle scene and make sure that it looks really good. But then everything else is kind of just, just average, I think. I don't think it's bad. Oh, it is out on Amazon in the UK. I'll have to look. But I'm surprised this came back as well. Uzaki-chan. Yeah, there's a lot of anime coming out. Golden Kamuy season 4. I've just caught up with that. I think this is probably going to wrap up to where I am now, which is around volume 26. I'm looking at some of these characters and they've just kind of been introduced. Looks like a lot of isekai. Oh, is this the Gundam Born? This is the Gundam series you're talking about, right? Who's the studio? Sunrise. Sunrise are great. Yeah, I think it's going to be quite a stacked October. I think we're all going to be very busy. There's a lot of good stuff coming out. Speaking of Soul Eater, anyone recommend the manga over the anime? I think the anime went into anime only, much like Bones did with Full Metal Alchemist 2003. I think around halfway. It kind of went its own direction, anime only. But I really enjoyed Soul Eater anime, but I've heard that the ending in the manga is far superior. But unfortunately, we can only get it in the big deluxe editions, the special edition. I think they're 3-in-1s. Oh, you can check out on YouTube. Nice. I'll give it a look. I wonder where it will be streamed. It'd be interesting to know. Right. I'm playing my ending theme, which means it is the end of the stream. As always. Because you can't be live forever. Check out the Square Enix Deluxe Edition. Yeah, nice yellow and black ones. They do look good. I regret not picking up this series in its singles, because I would love to have the singles. But I think I'm going to do the same as you. pick up the deluxe editions. But it is time to end, and I was going to do a reading cap, but you know, I'm just reading One Piece. And we spoke so much about One Piece at the beginning. I feel like I don't want to reiterate myself again. But guys, it's been fun. Thank you for chilling out. We hit 2 hours. And honestly, it feels like I've been live for 10 minutes. I feel like when you talk about something you're passionate about or you enjoy, just time flies so much. D, alright, I'm gone. My cup of tea, you off? Have a good night. And it was nice to catch up. And I'm sure you'll be around again next time. You hear the fan service eases off. Yeah, there's a lot of fan service at the beginning. I presume you're talking about Soul Eater, right? Yeah. It eases off at some point. Anyways, take it easy, guys. Oh, and before I leave, I forgot. As always, not as always, but most of the time, I do have a video that just dropped. It's just a reading log of all the shoujo stuff that I've read. You don't have to read it now. It's late. Read it? You don't have to watch it now. It's late. But when you get a moment, feel free to watch it. It's less than 10 minutes. But it's just my thoughts on the shoujo series that I read. I've enjoyed them all. They're all great. If you want to watch it, you can. You don't have to. I'd rather you not click it if you're not interested in shoujo, then click on it and then leave. It only hurts the algorithm. But take it easy, guys, and I will see you all next time.